Hey y'all, and welcome to Peyton's Place, where life is made simple. Here on Peyton's Place, I'm going to tell you about all things college, life as a young adult, and we'll talk about activism as well. On this episode, I'm going to tell you a few things you should know before moving to Dallas, Texas. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and there's a few things that I wish I would have knew before I moved here. And I'm going to tell you those things so you don't have to deal with it once you get here. I want to ask everyone to subscribe, hit that little bell to turn on your post notifications as well. Like, comment, and share. And I want to thank everyone who's subscribed already because we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and we will get there by the end of the year. Manifesting it now. You know, watch that video if you haven't watched it already. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you should know, which is obvious, but it's hot, like really hot. I was in church 2 weeks ago when I went. The pastor was like, this is as close to hell as I want to get. Because when I tell y'all, this is a different type of heat. And I would rather be in this hot weather than deal with the below 20 below zero weather I was dealing with in the winters back home. But it's hot, y'all. Like, I think next week is supposed to be like 105 degrees. Like, it's hot, and it's only June. It's only gonna get worse. So just know, like, people are not playing when they say it's really hot. Like, it's extremely hot, and that's something that you gonna have to get used to if you're not from a hot climate. But if you are, then, you know, hey, you already know what it is. The second thing you should know is people do not actually live in Dallas. So a lot of people will tell you, like, when you're talking to them or whatever and they live in, you know, around Dallas, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I live in Dallas, because obviously that's easier for people to understand than saying like the suburb they live in. But people don't really live in Dallas. So what you're gonna have to do is, before you move, figure out what area you want to live in or need to live in based off, you know, if you work in person, if you want to be close to your job, close to, you know, church, close to a gym, whatever you want to be close to. Figure out what area that you want to live in, because people don't really live in Dallas. A lot of people live in the suburbs. And that kind of goes to my next point, is that a typical commute here is it can be about 30 minutes. Like 25 to 30 minutes is normal, which was a big difference for me because I came from Milwaukee, where everything is like 15 minutes away. Like, if something was 25 minutes away, I'm like, I'm halfway to Chicago at that point. Like, that's a long drive. But here, stuff is far. So my church is like 35 minutes away on the toll road. Without the toll road, it's like 40, 45. Luckily I don't have a far commute to work, but going to see some friends who live far south or far north can be a 45-minute drive for me. So just knowing that stuff not gonna be down the street. Now obviously, like, your grocery store and, like, you know, different places are going to be close to your house. But if you don't live in Dallas and you're trying to go out in Dallas, you might have a 30-minute drive to Dallas and a 30-minute drive after, once you know, already lit and turned up, and you got to drive 30 minutes back home. So just know that things are kind of far here if you're coming from, you know, a smaller metroplex where everything is very close together. So just know that to expect to drive, you know, on average 25 plus minutes. I live very central, so luckily things are fairly close for me. But some things are, you know, far. And get a toll pass as well. Toll tag. Get a toll tag, because at first I was like, I'm just gonna avoid the toll roads. I don't need it. Hey, when I tell y'all, I value my time now, and I don't care if that time means I need to pay some extra money to be on the toll road, because things is far, and the toll road can sometimes save you like 10 to 15 minutes. And, you know, if you like me and you be running late, that toll tag can save you some time. So get a toll tag. That's the other thing I would say as well that goes with the whole commute thing. Next thing, dang, I feel like everything is about driving, but people here cannot drive, like, at all. I don't know what it is, but they can't drive. And I think I seen something where it said Dallas was voted like the worst place to drive or the worst drivers. They not lying. People here, I just don't get it. Like, signal lights are foreign to them. Nobody signals. People drive like, just, they don't think before they move. They just, I can't really explain it, but they can't drive. And because of that, it's always an accident. Like, I've seen so many accidents on the road, and that causes traffic, which is the other thing. Depending on what time you moving around, it can be traffic, especially if it's an accident, which unfortunately happens pretty often because people can't drive. And then, you know, you got them onlookers who, like, you driving, they like, everybody gotta look at the accident, and then that causes traffic. So people can't drive, and people getting in accidents cause traffic. So just, you know that you should be a defensive driver in general, but you really have to be a defensive driver here because people cannot drive. Like, I was on my way to church. I keep saying I was on my way to church, but I was on my way to church, and this guy literally caused the accident right behind me and then almost hit me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is nothing but the Lord who saved me, because these folks cannot drive. The next thing is there is no state tax. So it's cheaper, I say that with quotes as we're dealing with high inflation right now. It's cheaper to live here and you get more for your money. So I'm not gonna say it's cheap because, you know, everything's going up very high percentages: rent, gas, food, everything. So I'm not gonna say it's cheap to live here, but I do feel like you get more for your money, especially compared to other large cities. Like, I have friends who live in Chicago and pay way more in LA as well. I have friends in LA, New York, Chicago, those type of like big cities, and they have less square footage but are paying way more money than me. So like, you get more for your money here, I would say that. There's also no state tax, like I said, so everyday things are cheaper because the tax isn't like, you know, they don't add a whole bunch of extra tax on it. Granted, life is just lifing right now and it's very expensive, but I do still think you get more for your money here in Dallas. And finally, the last thing I will say is it's very easy to make friends here. And this is coming from somebody who's like, I'm not really an extrovert, really not an extrovert. I really keep to myself and love to be at home. I'm very much a homebody as well, but it's really easy to make friends here and people are super nice. So every time I go out, people are really nice, and I've been able to connect with different people. People are welcoming. It's like that Southern hospitality. People talk about Midwest nice. After living in Texas, I don't want to hear none of that because Midwesterners are low-key mean. But you know, that's a whole nother topic. But Southern hospitality is truly a thing down here, and whether that's just like everyday life, people holding the door saying thank you, having manners like that, or chivalry as well. I have experienced that. Chivalry is a real thing here. Like, don't touch a door if you're a woman and you with a man. Like, I promise, it's very refreshing. So people are nice. The men are gentlemen. And I'm not saying everybody, obviously we all know it's a lot of rotten apples in the bunches out there nowadays, but for the most part, the men are very respectful here. But mostly I'm talking about friends, making friends, and people are really nice. And I don't get the vibes that you could sometimes get from your hometown of like people hating or people being jealous. Like, I really genuinely get the vibes here that people feel like it's enough room and space for all of us to, you know, be successful, and people lift each other up. And that's like, you know, just really refreshing and nice to be around. I also because a lot of people are moving to Dallas, and because people move here and they're not from here, a lot of people are looking to make friends. So in that sense, it's also easy to make friends because there's a lot of people who move here because there's so many different companies, headquarters, corporations, great jobs. So a lot of people are moving here, and therefore they're looking for friends just like you're looking for friends if you move here. So with that, those are a few things that you should know before moving to Dallas, Texas. If y'all want to know more about Dallas, about Texas, let me know. I could do some more videos. Comment below, you know, some things y'all want to know, any questions y'all want to ask me. I'm here to help y'all, so y'all don't have to make the mistakes I made. I feel like I'm a mom or a parent or something, but no, honestly, I'm here to help y'all so that you all don't have to like go through the trial and errors that I had to go through after living here for 2 years. So let me know if there's anything y'all want to know. Comment below, and I want to remind everyone as well to subscribe, hit the bell to turn on your post notifications, like, comment, share the content if you're really feeling it. And I want to thank everyone again who's already subscribed to the channel, because you all keep me going for real. So I really feel like I'm claiming it. I don't feel like we will be at 1,000 subscribers at least by the end of the year, speaking it into existence. But until then, you all know where to catch me every Wednesday here on Peyton's Place.